Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Jayco Whitehawk 27 RK travel trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for that big old awning to come out. On your campsite, of course, leave plenty of room for your slide. But I also want you to think about where your power and water connection is going to be. They are actually going to be right next to each other. Power is going to be right over top of your city water connection for campsites, toward the front of the unit, in front of your tires, on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. Unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply retract to lower, extend to raise till you got your unit level. If you lose power, you do have a manual override for that hand crank right there. Got to get this down, up and down without power. Speaking of power, check the battery post every now and then, make sure those haven't wiggled loose. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. Now your unit is equipped with power stabilizing jacks. You do have a manual override hand crank. Should you lose power here, you can get these up and down by hand. But in order to run them down correctly, we're going to go up inside your unit. Coming right in is your J Command control center. Up here in the top is where you can select through things. Let me close the door so you can see this. So up top will take us through everything. Our AC, our settings, our tanks, our water, and our motors. On your motors, go down to here now and select front stabilizing jacks, and we'll get a hit extend. I can hear them running down. As they are running down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris, hot blacktop in the summer. Sounds like they might have been down all the way. There's our first one. Second one's down. Just that quickly they'll be down. You don't want to bring these down until you feel it start to lift the unit. You don't want to lift the unit though, because our unit's already level. We just want to stabilize it. Repeat the process by going in there and doing the back stabilizing jacks. Once we get our unit level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Big long 30 amp cord plugs in here on the side, and should you need it one point to plug into a 110, and your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amperage reducer. You can plug into a 110 by putting that on the end of your plug. Where these cords go on now is they'll come in at an angle. Once they're in there, twist it to the right and then put your washer on. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this when putting fluid in your unit, because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Water pressure regulator. Hose. One more step. Don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. On this Whitehawk, it's located at the back of the trailer. And all we're doing at this point, folks, this will lift right off here. We're just making sure our drain plug's back in. Throw a little plumber's tape around that. Not putty, putty will gum up on you. Get that rod in there nice and snug. That is 1 1/8" socket. Get that in there tight. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now after the hose has been on for a little bit, go in and deploy your slide, get it out of your way, and go in there and open up all of your water taps. Get all the air out of the lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Then you can shut them off and you'll know that your hot water heater is full. Then you can turn this on from indoors. I'll show you how to do that when we get in there. If for some reason your hot water heater doesn't work, check to see if these are bubbled up. If they are, push them back in there, reset. Up here will be your pressure release valve. Now let's say we're gonna go camping and we're not gonna use city water. We're gonna go dry camping or boondocking. In that case, we're just gonna fill up our freshwater tank. Yours is also located on the off campsite toward the front. Just to the right of your entry doorway is your freshwater tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell when it's full. 1, there's an overflow valve right there. Or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a fresh tank to look at. Don't leave this unattended while filling it. Once it's full, remove that hose, put your cap on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook to the city water down there. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set up to camp with power and water. I'm going to walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing here on our off camp side. Entry storage door that'll hold up on a magnet. Inside we have lighting and your battery disconnect. That would disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. Our black tank flush. We will discuss that when dumping our black tanks. That's going to clean out your black tanks. Potable water. Freshwater drain right there. Again, your power, city water, black and gray tanks. Coming behind your slide will be an extra gray handle, outdoor shower, cable hookup. These are your main low point drains. Spare tire with a cover. Access to the back of your fridge. Prepped for a backup camera. Again, your hot water heater. Got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year and check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Also have an outdoor kitchen as well as a J-port. Show you quickly how to set that J-port up. With this big metal handle. It sets you your storage up front. Make sure you put that in. You have this area up. Slide that in there. Once that's in there, you have your table piece and set it up on top. Now you have quick connect here, quick connect to here, and your griddle for this is right up here in your front storage, as well as a removable ladder. Above your outdoor kitchen, you've got a couple outdoor speakers, a vent for your microwave, flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. 1, make sure it's never blocked. 2, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of it. It does get hot. You're prepped for a TV. Put it back on your TV. That'll slap right on here with your cable and 110. Your steps have a light at nighttime so you can see them. Steps in or out, make sure your exterior doors all the way open, otherwise this piece is going to catch on it. Extra steps for your bedroom. Again, your front storage with your table, lighting, docking lighting, 110 here. Your propane does come with a cover. Is on a regulator. Simply point it toward the tank you wish to be using. Lefty loosey to open these. And that about covers everything on the outside. Oh, we do have where you prep for solar, you can plug in a solar panel there and that'll trickle charge your batteries. That covers it out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Okay, so coming up inside the unit, straight up on the wall is going to be our control panel. Touch the upper left to turn our lights on. So this will take us through everything as I showed before. We'll start up here with motors. We're going to select our awning. I'm not going to run it out all the way, but I just want to show you on that awning. The bottom's white, the top is brown. You're going to run this out until your white flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see your bar. Now that will extend itself out beyond that point. Cleared that slide pretty good. There's our white flap. Now if I continue to run that out, that'll start to run itself up backwards. So once that flap falls down all the way and you can see your bar underneath, go ahead and stop. Only run it out as far as you need to. Back here also under motors, we have stabilizing jacks front and rear and our slide control. We'll run that back in here in a little bit. Awning is in. Before I go through any more, I'm going to show you 1 is light interior lighting, 2 is exterior, and 3 will control both. This is where you can turn on your water pump, and this is where you can go directly to your heating and cooling. All right, back up top again. Get back to our motors. We went through all those. Next is our AC. You can turn that on and off here. You can pair your phone to the J Command BM Pro app. I recommend it. It's really cool. You can sit outside and run your awning out, your slides out, etc. Here's where you keep an eye on your tanks where you're filling those. Here's where you can turn on your water pump if you're using potable water. Your water heater if you're using electric. Your water heater if hooked to gas. It does make a difference. And we're back to our controls of our awnings. Lighting in here. Including our awning light. Let's head on inside. Entertainment center. Pull on this handle. TV was removed for security purposes, but you have a 50-inch Insignia Fire TV that'll go inside there. Fireplace, not just for looks. If you're cold in the morning or evening, turn on the heat on that and it'll get it toasty in here in no time. Save your gas, use their electricity to warm it up in here. Self-explanatory microwave. You have a fan and light above that. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. When you turn this to light, it turns to red, hit your spark, your flame will be there once your gas is turned on. Same thing over here. Turn your oven to that flame, spark it down here, and then set it to the desired temperature. No need for a pilot light anymore. Rock that panel light down and it becomes an oven light. Under your sink, a little plumbing to maintain. Just keep an eye on it. You're bouncing the house down the road nowadays. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Pop up power port. You can tuck that away. Furion fridge. Down below that, the corner, you got a 110 and USB. Lighting for your dinette area. Of course, this table will lift up off here. Remove these bars. Put your table on these lips back in there. Put your back cushions on top and that will give you another sleeping quarters. These are removable. If you want to use them for dinette. They store up underneath your bed. The other one's under there right now. As well as these recline. Just pull on your parachute pull right there. Your lighting for that is here. On our back wall underneath the mirror, we've got 110 USB. 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. And the reason I mention that's 12 volt, it is always running off your battery. So if you're out dry camping, boondocking somewhere, nothing plugged in charging your battery, use your battery disconnect or disconnect one of your battery posts if there isn't one to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. To the right of that is going to be your breaker box and fuses. Handful of 15s, couple 25s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Coming back here into our bathroom. Just want to mention lighting and fan. 110 with GFCI reset. More plumbing to maintain. Just keep an eye on it. When you're traveling, make sure that this shower door is snapped into open position and any vents are closed. This is where you're pre-wired for solar behind this. I'll leave that on there. It's for the techs to know where that's pre-wired for solar if you ever decide to wire the whole thing for solar. This is a temperature reader. Helps the thermostat to work better. Actually, I think you'll see this on the outside sometimes too. Sliding door. Make sure this is snapped open for travel. Can clamp it closed over here. Prepped for TV back here. Hand crank open. Power exhaust that in your bedroom. Lighting for behind here. This lighting, touch it once for a blue light. Hold it in for a nice reader. And some storage under your bed, which is where the strap is to hold these little dinette pieces in. Separate entry doorway. Make sure you have that snapped into lock position when traveling. So that about covers everything on the inside. I will point out your smoke alarm right here in the middle of your ceiling, and your emergency exit window here and one in the bathroom. You simply grab that red and yank that out of there. Alright, let's ask I can leave the campsite and close the unit up. Walk through the unit. I like to shut off my lights here and then walk through the unit and shut off any individual lighting I see left on. A lot of this is just one touch lighting. Make sure our vents are closed. All the lights are off throughout the unit. Another vent, make sure it's closed. Now go through and close all the doors and drawers. Make sure all the doors and drawers are closed, secure for travel. Nothing's going to impede our slide from coming in. Come back up to our control panel. Find motors. Choose down to slide. And hit retract. You see the importance of having all the drawers down there underneath your refrigerator area and around that little pantry area. Make sure them are closed all the way. Slide's not going to catch on them. I wanted you to hear that noise. That is just the slide mechanism telling itself, don't come in any further. I'm all the way in. Nothing is grinding or breaking. I do want to show you quickly on your skylight, you do have a nice shade for that as well. Alright, let's exit the unit. Again, make sure your exterior door is all the way open before bringing these up. Otherwise, this will catch on it. You also have adjustable feet on these. Simply press up on this metal piece and then slide the foot to where you want it. Set that inside, make sure that's locked in. Now before you leave the dump station, and I say that in case you want to go in here and look at your levels while you're dumping. Before you leave the dump station, lock and deadbolt this door, turn and raise that handle. That's the safest way to have that door travel. So one thing I did forget, and you may as well in your trips, is to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Before leaving the unit, all our controls are in here for that. So if we're at if we're out boondocking, we're gonna bring up our stabilizing jacks, get up underneath and dump our freshwater tank. Otherwise, everywhere else, bring up our stabilizing jacks, unhook our power, our water, our cable, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be right in front of your tires on your off-camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. We drive, get there, get up underneath, and we are going to pull this black handle. That's the black holding tank. That is going to be your sewage. Once that sounds like it's no longer draining, leave that handle open, go inside, make sure the tank is empty. If it is empty, grab the hose at the dump station, come up here to this tank flush, again emphasizing that black handle open, turn on that hose and let it run for a good 5 minutes. That's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When it's done, close that up, make sure all that washout water that you just put in there has drained, then close your black and pull your gray. That's going to be cleaner water as your sinks and your showers. When that gray sounds like it's no longer draining, close that handle, and lastly come to the back here and pull this gray water holding tank handle. That's going to be water from your outdoor sink on the other side. While that one's draining, come back here and dump your low point drains. When the low point drains are done, if you're done at the season and you want to dump your hot water heater, make sure that you pull up on your pressure release valve first. That's going to dump a lot of hot water out of there. Then pull your drain plug. Make sure to put this back on correctly for travel. When that gray's empty, close that gray handle, grab your sewage hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store it right there in your bumper. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Whitehawk for many years to come. Happy camping.